Yeah, family, y'all. Just keep it tight, keep it tight, keep it tight. Oh, right. Yeah. Here we go.
So Parmenides still is living about 500 years before Jesus. Parmenides drew up laws for his native city of Ilium and founded the Eleatic school. He was a Pythagorean that abandoned those beliefs in favor of his own. He believed that being, or the one, if you prefer, is. Being what? Being is. And becoming, change, and motion are simply illusion. So Heraclitus talks about how it is that all things are in motion. What is Parmenides the next going to say? Parmenides is going to say, wait a minute, there is no motion. In fact, motion is simply an illusion. Deacon Cleophas thinks that he just moved from his chair to the table, but you know what? Motion is an illusion. Being is. There is no becoming. There is no moving across space. It's all an illusion. Your senses lead you to believe that something just moved. Nothing moved. Something cannot come into being from non-being. Whoa, you thought that God created the world out of nothing? Nothing can come out of nothing. Nothing can come out of nothing. If you're going to create something, it has to come out of something. Being is one, and so any plurality is an illusion. All reality is one. So any idea that you have that things are separate or distinct from one another, no, it's all an illusion. Lots of illusions we're talking about here. Most people rely on their senses. We saw Deacon Cleophas reach forward. No, there is no motion. The senses are fooling us all the time. You cannot trust your senses, said Parmenides.
Especially when you get old.
Especially when you get older. Right? Especially when you get older. Those of you who are younger, just wait till you get to be our age. So how interesting that Parmenides tells us there's the way of truth, the way things really are, and then there's the way of opinion and belief. His great assertion is simply that it is. Ooh, how fascinating. When Jesus would come along, what words did Jesus use to describe himself? I am. Whoa. For him, reality simply is. It is. What is he talking about when he says it, reality, or being? What does he mean when he says is? That it exists and it cannot not be. Being is. Being cannot not be. Otherwise, it's not being. Right? If it can be, then it is, even if it only is an object of our thought. Reality was always existent, so nothing can come into being. It always was, and if it always was, that means it is. That's Parmenides. Reality can't change or expand into an empty space. It's spatially finite. It doesn't have a beginning or an end. It's equally real in all directions, right? The real is equally real in all directions. So what shape is the real? It must be spherical, right? Because it goes equally in all directions. It's equally poised from the center in every direction, for it cannot be greater or smaller in one place than in another. What is Parmenides' influence in philosophy? Plato is influenced by his distinction between the world of reason and the world of sense or appearance, because the question is, Parmenides said that we can't trust our senses. What do y'all say? Was he right? Are we fooled by our senses? Have you ever seen a mirage? Oh, it looks like water. You get close, it was a mirage. Your senses do that to you all the time. Aristotle would later work out Parmenides' dilemma with the notion of potentiality. So he's saying that things cannot become, that things always are. You know, Aristotle's going to say, you can actually be one thing, but potentially another thing. He's actually a boy, she's actually a girl now, but she's potentially an adult woman or a senior adult. Not yet, but she has the potential for being that. Melissus, just a quick note on Melissus, was a disciple of Parmenides, who just thought that Parmenides was smoking crack. Couldn't accept any of the master's doctrine, because Melissus was simply saying, if being is finite, which is what we read there, if being is finite, then there must be something beyond it. If being is finite, what limits or bounds it, right? Being must be infinite, was what Melissus was trying to say. For what is empty is nothing. What is nothing cannot be. Being must be infinite.